You are watching the Experimental as Anything Lab Chat series presented by Jemima Ashley and Siobhan Joyce from the Business Experiment. Welcome back to the Business Experiment, Experimental as Anything Lab Chats. And today, Jemima, who is here with us, and I are interviewing Sarah from This Woman Can. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Technical issue. Jemima and I are learning how to use Zoom for the first time. So hashtag...
Siobhan is learning how to use Zoom. Again.
I am.
These things happen, ladies. Let's all move on.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're excited to have you here for Lab Chat, Sarah. We're so excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's pretend that, and of course everyone here does, but let's pretend people don't know who you are. Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about This Woman Can, please?
Sure. So I'm a trained journalist, although I never actually went into journalism. Straight out of university, I pretty much landed a job in communications. So I've been working in the communications and PR sector for the last 7 years or so. And for the last 2, I've actually run my own professional writing and PR business. And also on the side, just like you ladies, I'm trying to run another business, which is This Woman Can. And that in many ways came out of one of the lowest points in my life. So what had happened was I'd left one really stable job to try something a little bit new. And in hindsight, it probably wasn't one of the smartest moments of my life, given that I've been really honest and open about the fact that I'm absolutely petrified about public speaking. And yet this particular role was as a spokesperson. So you know what? That did not go to plan at all. And right from the get-go, it was just really the wrong fit for me. And then after that, it all happened and I'd resigned. Basically, I was just going through a really hard time in my life. I really didn't know where I wanted to go with my career. I felt very alone and isolated from everyone else. I was also incredibly embarrassed because the whole move of jobs was really pumped up to be, quite incredible at my former workplace. And they were all still my friends. And I had to kind of go back to these people and say, it really didn't go to plan. So I felt so embarrassed. And during that time, I remember just yearning to reach out to a community of people who would listen to me, who could understand what I was going through. And basically, I wasn't looking for a fairy tale, but what I was looking for was someone to just tell me, you know what, it's going to be crap for a little while, but I've been there, I've done that. You're going to feel all the things that you're feeling at the moment, but there is light on the other side. And when I went out looking for that, I just couldn't find it anywhere. So I needed about 6 months to really get the professional writing and PR business up and running. I pretty much went from a fairly well-paid job to earning absolutely nothing within a week. And then about 6 months in, I looked back and I had clarity and I was able to look back at everything that I'd been through. And basically that's where This Woman Can came from. So it's designed to fill that gap in the market. So it's for young people and women to help them realize and maximize their life and career potential. So that's how This Woman Can came about. We only launched late last year, but I'm incredibly excited about the kind of feedback that we're getting. And I think one thing that This Woman Can is doing is that it's really connecting with people. And with all of the way the internet's come and that kind of thing, I think people are legitimately missing that connection with real humans.
Yes, absolutely. And we're obviously the Business Reel at the Business Experiment. And one of the things we love the most about you, Sarah, and also about This Woman Can is exactly like you say, like how real you are and how you're connecting real women to other real women and real stories, to other women. Like we just think it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one other thing that's really missing out there these days is that even in the media outlets that are covering women, they tend to focus only on celebrity. And for me, that's not who I relate to. And for our audience, that's not who they relate to either. So this is a really safe environment where people can come out and admit their vulnerabilities. I lead the way as well. Last week, I did my first Facebook Live and I kind of went through the whole internal, fight with myself. Yes, I am going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it next week. And just hit record. And honestly, I just jumped on there and I just admitted, look, I'm petrified. This is my first Facebook Live. I'm very much a behind the scenes kind of person. But you know what? Because I'd framed it that way, I felt like I was in a safe place anyway. And then as I continued to just push through, honestly, the longest 2.5 minutes of my life, if you ask me. But people were jumping on and they were writing really supportive comments. So you know what? That's very much what we're about. And, I think it's working really well. And I think it's really much needed out there in the internet. There's just so much noise out there. And, across social media, everyone looks like they're living the dream and they're living the fairy tale. But you know what? When you dig a little bit deeper, it's much more, enticing to people to just be real and just to be, you know what? I am having a crappy day. It's like that's something that's really shown through in our closed Facebook group. Jemima, we're very happy to have you on there. Siobhan, I hope that you'll be joining soon. I'll send through a link.
Cool.
But yeah, like on there's been some really powerful discussions, and it's a really small group. It's not intended to be like 1 million members and that kind of thing, but there's been really powerful discussions on there. I mean, I've jumped on a few weeks ago and just said, hey, I'm having a dip. I'm over this. I don't want to do this anymore. It's all too hard. And you know what? Again, the message of support just shone through. So, and that's very much what we're all about. We just want people to be themselves and to, feel like that they have a community where they're safe to reach out and chat.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. So do you have any kind of tips that you would like to share with other people out there who are in business or thinking about going out into business, either in your industry or otherwise?
Sure. So I think the first big one for me is to surround yourself with the right kind of people. And what I mean by that is you're never going to have all of the answers. And just because you're a great writer or you're a great designer or whatever you are, it doesn't mean you actually know how to run a business. So a huge thing for me to begin with was to get a really top-notch accountant who had the patience to work with me and to kind of like outline all of the things that I didn't know, some of which I didn't even know that I didn't know them. But like I'm talking about really basic things like I didn't understand the difference between different business structures. I didn't factor in that I now had to make superannuation contributions. I didn't know if I had to be registered for GST. I didn't know that I had an option not to be registered for GST. All of these things are really important. And as a writer, I'm pretty hopeless with numbers. So I was very financially inept. And I knew it. So like I was very honest about it. But I think that's a big one for me. And also another huge thing is to admit your weaknesses and seek out help for them. So, I mean, I've been pretty honest about my public speaking fear. I have no problem in admitting that I have a voice coach, and she's done a few sessions with me now. She's recorded me on video, and it's soul crushing to watch yourself back on video, but it's also really valuable. It's like those kind of things.
We did tell Sarah this is a video, right?
Yeah. I'm not planning on watching it back. I'm just thinking, let it loose. The thing about This Woman Can is we're telling people to go outside their comfort zones. Yeah. So I think it would be pretty hypocritical of me to, hide away behind my little laptop, as us writers love to do. But I think, those are the kind of things. And also surround yourself with the right kind of people who are going to help to pep you up when you hit that soul-crushing low, which I promise you, it doesn't matter how successful or how well you do, you will have those days where you're ready to just pack it in and think, you know what, I quit. I'm just going to go get a normal 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. job because it's all too hard. It's like, I think those are the main things for me. But like more specific to writers and probably the creative industry is to be really careful and mindful in terms of how much free work you're doing.
Yes.
What I mean by that is when I first started, I was actually working 24/7. What I couldn't actually figure out was what I was working 24/7 on because I had no clients and I had no money. It's like it seemed like an awful lot of time to just, be doing stuff. And then when I kind of backtracked and stepped away, I figured out that I was doing so much free work, it's not funny. And I was doing heaps of guest writing, guest articles, that kind of thing, because I was trying so hard to get my name out there. And so like what I'm saying in this is not to do free work. It's just to do it very strategically. So eventually I became a Huffington Post blogger. And I used that incredibly well at the start of my business to kind of establish myself, establish my credibility and that kind of thing. So I was really lucky that 2 of the articles I wrote ended up going viral. So what I would do when I was going to meet future clients and that kind of thing, I'd always mention Huffington Post because everyone knows it. So it was pretty impressive. And then when I added the fact that those couple of articles had gone viral, it gave me a level of credibility that I could never have bought. So what I think is, look at what you're doing, use any free stuff that you're doing strategically, but don't get bogged down in doing so much free stuff that you actually don't have time to go out there and, generate clients and, earn money, because you deserve to earn money for what you do.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that.
That's a huge thing. And I think my third and another really important point, and it's really come out over the last couple of years, is to be authentic and to be you. So at the start of my career, especially more so in the PR sector, not so much in communications, but in PR, everyone tries to fit you into a box. And what I mean by that is that, your superiors will tell you have to wear high heels, you have to go out and paint your nails, get your fancy hair done, all that kind of thing. It's all well and good if, you love that kind of thing and that's the kind of person you are. But for me, that's not who I am. And I always felt as though I was being someone who I wasn't. So I wasn't being my genuine self, and I wasn't going out there and doing any of that stuff confidently because it's not actually who I am. So I felt like I was, operating in disguise and with a mask for most of those years.
Yeah.
But then, when you start running your own business, you start running your own show. It's like that really gave me the ability to kind of just be myself, be authentically me. And you know what? It's worked really well for me. I've never been more content nor more successful than just being who I am. So it helps you also to attract the right kind of people.
Yeah, totally. Thank you. Now we have a funny question for you.
Oh, love these ones. I was hoping for, what flavor ice cream am I, or something like that.
It's that. And no, we promise not to ask that to anybody. So one of the things we would like to do with this series is that obviously we're talking to amazing, kick-ass, beautiful women who are doing these amazing things. What we really, really want to do in this series is make sure that we're making it really, let's have fun. Businesses, it's hard. We have a really hard time anyway. So, and we don't want to be another interview and I pray that this is never going to be the situation people are like, oh, I've had to interview with those girls. They're so boring. So we're going to give you a random question. Are you ready?
I am ready. I am prepped.
All right. The Australian Idol auditions are coming up.
I don't know how that's going to work with my public speaking fear, to be honest with you.
We're going to do it together. So my question to you is this. What is our girl band's name and what song are we going to audition with? Go.
All right, so I've got the song because it's actually a song I listen to every single day. And I'm not at all ashamed to admit this, but it's Katy Perry. It's Raw. And honestly, sometimes I am walking, because I love to walk for stress release, and I'm singing and someone comes up beside me or behind me and I'm really getting into it and I look like a bit of a Fruit Loop. I'm doing a little head shake and stuff, but I'm really I'm singing it with passion. So I think that, all of us together, we could do quite a nice little trio with Katy Perry Raw. And we probably do it better than her because there's 3 of us, 3 times the fun.
Yeah, 3 times. Right, and so, all right, there's 3 of us. We're doing Katy Perry Raw. What is our band name?
The Tantalizing Trio, I think.
Does anyone here make t-shirts because we need them immediately made? Call us.
I think so. I think we should organise that straight away.
Yeah. Totally.
Done.
So anyone out there, drop your name.
And I think, if we do have to do any other songs, they should all be female empowerment songs. It's Fighter by Christina Aguilera, all that kind of stuff. In fact, that's really my whole iPod. I don't have sulky songs at all. The last 2 years, it's just been female empowerment.
Yeah, have a specific playlist for you crap I'm having a bad day songs, but what you really, really need is only high energy stuff. And this is again, going back to the sum of the 5 people, you are the sum of the music you're listening to.
For sure.
And look, business experiment, we are home of the 90s music. We love it. Let's not, Barbie girl, that's fine too. Let's audition
Oh,
with that.
yes.
Stuff.
Oh, hang on. What about Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain?
We should really just start a podcast series where, or like a YouTube series where all we do is name our favorite 90s songs, and people are like, oh yeah, that was great. Coco Jumbo, that was a song everyone got down to. The Macarena.
Or Mambo number 5.
Oh yes, and imagine the moves we could bust as well. I can't say that I'm a lady with rhythm, but I think that, you know, with you two beside me, I think we could, you know,
got this.
make some waves.
Guys, we're meeting at the Night Cat on Smith Street in an hour.
All right, done deal.
Done. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sarah. We had such an amazing time. Thank you for sharing your story with us. That was amazing.
Thank you very much for having me.
If we wanted to find out a little bit more information about you, where would we go?
So you can go to our website, www.thiswomancan.org. Also, if you're really keen to chat directly with me, feel free to send me an email, editor@thiswomancan.org. Or if you just Google my name, my personal website will come up. But, you know, please go to This Woman Can, preferably.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Awesome.
We'll share this out. And what's your Facebook, your closed Facebook group you were talking about, if anybody would like to join that, Sarah?
It's a very complicated link. It's not at all neat, but I will give it to you and you feel free to share it. We'd love to have all of your audience in there. We have some really honest, open and real discussions and, you know, wipe away one another's tears on those bad days and celebrate the wins.
Sounds great. Well, thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
We will be back in a fortnight's time with another video for you guys. Thank you for joining us for Live Chats. We will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.